Hello everyone, this is the Insomniac GM, and today I'm going to be doing something a little different. So for my bestiary today, like I said before in the past, the reason I haven't been doing the bestiary lately is because I really haven't been playing RPGs where I'm using a bestiary. I've been playing like Marvel Phase Rip, or I've been running a Greek game, which yeah, that's a bestiary, but it's the ones everyone knows. So I was gonna do the bestiary again, and I was watching a movie, and all of a sudden, like, I don't know what, it just clicked with me. The movie, if you're curious what movie I was watching, it was The Deadly Spawn. It has nothing to do with what I came up with, but all of a sudden this idea came to me, and so I created a monster. I used the rules for like OSR because it's simple enough for you to be able to put this monster in any system you want. You just need to do some tweaking. So there's going to be some vague things in it, but I call the monster the Burr-Shay. I mixed up some words. I mixed up. Yeah, it doesn't matter what words I mixed up. But the Burr-Shay are a primitive mind humanoid creature. They stand about 8 feet tall and they hunt in small packs. So when you run across them, you're probably going to run across D4 of them. Now, they're a humanoid creature. If your game uses size, I went with large, but if it doesn't, ignore it. I gave them 4 hit dice. So what that means for non-OSR or whatever, it means its health is 4 health dice. You can tweak some of the stats. I left some vague. I gave them an attack bonus of +4. And if they're stealthing, they get a +2. Now, these creatures are, like I said, primitive. They use spears, and they, what else did I give them? Did I give, yeah, and they use bows. So they like to hunt their prey. They usually stick around to using spears and that. And they will eat pretty much anything they can find that's meat. Now, what makes these creatures so interesting, I guess you could say, is their ability that I gave them. So their ability is a range of half a mile, or we could make it a quarter mile. So if their ability affects you and you leave their range, then the ability stops working on you, and if you run across them again, the ability can happen again. Now, because they have this primitive mindset, they're not as smart as you and me. Their way of combating that is, if you see one of these creatures, you have to make a save. Now, what save is it? It depends on what system you're running. If you're running like the 3rd edition system, it can be will. If it's like 5th edition, you could always make it wisdom. And then for OSR, I think there's like save or charm save. I could be wrong. But what it does is, if you succeed the save, nothing happens. But if you fail the save, then you subtract temporarily a d4 for each creature you see from your intelligence. So you can find anywhere from 1 to 4 of them out in the wild. And if you see, say, 2 of them, and you fail your save, and let's say you have a intelligence of 12, and you fail, and you roll a d4 for each one, your intelligence can become an 8. And now your character is acting on below average intelligence. So now there's this whole struggle of trying to flee and whatnot. This is more focused on role-playing wise, but I think it would also make a good opponent. I think it would also be interesting to see them like... I think these creatures are probably enemies of like goblinoids because of how few there are, and the goblinoids probably like take up their turf, eating up their food and that. So they probably go out of their way to fight goblinoids. Well, goblins aren't that intelligent compared to like the normal folk. So if you see these creatures fighting a goblinoid, it could change up the combat. The players could run across these things, and the goblins are they're just unorganized, and they're probably majorly outnumbering the Burr-Shay, but they're just so unorganized, so unintelligent. And now there's this option between the players. Do we slay the Burr-Shay, and now we're dealing with a mass number of goblins that now can fight tactically? Or do we take out the goblins, and then we have to deal with the Burr-Shay, which are much hardier than the goblinoids? So I feel that's something that you can play into. But I would say this is a very uncommon creature. Like, you're going to run across goblins and orcs and all that much more often than you would run across these things. Like, I think kind of like gorillas, you're going to struggle to like find where their home is. And I think a part of that would be good for the fact that if a player runs across like where their home is, they're going to be sapped of they're going to have no intelligence probably. So this was just an idea I had for a bestiary, trying something new. I did some AI generated art on the creature, so this is artwork for you. And if you want to end up using this monster in your game, please, 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 please let me know how it went. I'd love to hear. And I'll see you guys again next time. Take care.